Pattern number 20 of Exercises in Knitting. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Betsy Bush in Marquette, Michigan, May 2008. Exercises in Knitting by Cornelia Me. Pattern number 20, Baby's Shoe and Stocking. Set on 80 stitches and knit the top as the Swiss mittens. When deep enough, diminish your stitches to 60. Knit 2 seamed rows in color, then 2 plain white, and 6 rows of bars formed by knitting 2 plain and 2 seamed stitches alternately for 3 rows, and then 2 plain rounds, then reverse the ribbing and so on, with 2 plain rounds between. Divide the back and front. On the 2 back pins 32 stitches, 28 on the front. On the back pins knit 2 more plain rows. On the front continue the bars 6 more rows, and at the end knit 4 plain rows. This finishes the stocking part. For the shoe, set on 32 stitches of colored wool on a separate pin, 1 plain row and 1 row of holes for ribbon to go through, 1 plain row, and then join it at the back part of the stocking. Knit 2 seamed rows, 2 plain, 3 rows of bars, and 2 seamed rows. Divide for the heel, 12 stitches on the middle pin, and 10 on each side, which you bind down. Continue 3 plain rows on the middle part, where there are 12 stitches, and 3 rows of bars. No plain rows at the end. Take up each side of the heel 10 stitches, and seam 3 rows. For the foot part, knit 2 plain rows and 8 rows of bars, before knitting the plain rows to these 8 rows of bars. Set on 28 stitches of colored wool on a separate pin, and after knitting 2 seamed rows, join it to the front part of the stocking. Then knit 2 plain rounds all round to join the whole, but in the back part reduce 4 stitches to make it equal with the 28 in front. Commence the pattern of bars on the back pin, and make the first stitch a plain one. At the end of that pin, and on the front one, seam 3 stitches to form the side of the shoe, with 2 plain rows as before, narrowing at the end and beginning of the pins. At the beginning of the pins narrow the first stitch, and at the end, before the 3 seamed stitches, and only narrow in the plain rows. When you have narrowed to have 10 on the front and back pins, 20 in all, knit 4 plain rows, and finish by turning it and binding down. The front part of the shoe should have 4 rows of bars. Join the sides of the shoe and stocking, and knit 4 seamed rows. Draw a ribbon through the back part where you made the holes. End of pattern number 20.